What is up, my beautiful gemstones? It's your girl Gemma Jade, and I am here with your weekly intuitive pick a card oracle reading for the week of April 25th through May 1st. I have a brand new deck today. It is the Lightworker Oracle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call on spirit guides, angels, guardians, guardian angels, ancestors, deceased loved ones, any higher elevational and dimensional beings of love, light, and peace that want to come through with messages, your guides, any otherworldly attachments that you may have that may be around, like shapeshifter, extraterrestrial, starseed, earth angel, fairy, the universe, and the cosmos. And I'm going to pull 3 cards. I'm going to label them 1, 2, and 3. If you need to pause the video, set your intention, ask your questions. I will then turn the card over 1, 2, and 3 and tell you what the book says, and then tell you what I'm getting intuitively and or from spirit. If you cannot choose a card from the first 3 that I pull, I will pull a 4th card at the end. For you procrastinators in the group like me, because I'm usually procrastinating all the time. These are general readings. If you'd like a personal reading from me, please email me your birth date and your name at MoonBearOracle@gmail.com. Sorry guys, I need to slow it down a little bit because I don't want to have any edits. If you'd like a personal reading, email me your name and birth date to MoonBearOracle@gmail.com. For the rest of the month of April and May, I'm doing them for donation only, which means I send you the reading and you donate what you can, what you're able, what you think the reading is worth, if anything. Okay. So I'm really excited about using this deck. These are really in-depth cards. I've been doing some personals for my patrons. If you become a Patreon member for $20 a month or more, you will get a monthly automatic intuitive oracle personal reading. So these readings are general. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If you choose card number 1 and card number 3 resonates, then card number 3 is most likely your message. If you get a little bit of a message from all 4 cards, or from each of the 4 cards, then that's your message. Everyone who came here today will get the message that they were supposed to receive. All right. With all that being said, I'm going to pull the cards now. Can I have 3 cards for April 25th through May 1st, 2022, please? For this weekly pick a card intuitive oracle reading, Lightworker Oracle. Card number 1. I'm a little awkward with the stand right now because it's the first time I'm using it. Card number 2. And card number 3. So what I'm going to do, maybe this will be a little easier. No. Okay. Card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. Take a moment to pause the video if you need to. And I'm going to go right ahead. So let's start with card number 1. Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. It's the 9th card. If you guys can see that there. And again, you know, bear with me because this is the first time I am using this stand. Thank you to Ghost Dragons for the stand and to all of you lovely people for all of the crystals. So if you chose card number 1, the 9th card, Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. Divine feminine wisdom empowers you to grow into your vision, your dreams, and the fulfillment of your life purpose. Perhaps you envision a very different life for yourself to what you are experiencing now. This wisdom reminds you that you can experience even the most extraordinary dreams as reality if you are willing to grow into what you desire and to become what you seek. Surrender any plans about how you can best manifest your dreams and instead allow life to guide and nourish you through your experiences each day. The universe supports your divine destiny and is helping you to become all that you are meant to be. When the wisdom of the divine feminine reaches for you, the message is clear. You are in a process of becoming more of heaven on earth. Sometimes there are growing pains alongside the joy such growth brings. You may feel concerned, thinking your pain is an indication that you are failing in some way. You may judge your suffering as a sign that you are not operating at a quote-unquote high enough frequency. Yet, how many spiritual masters upon this planet have endured this great suffering as well as experiencing tremendous love and joy in the fulfillment of the divine destiny? Growing pains are just part of the feminine path of creation, of breaking through what has become too small for you. There is joy in the eventual freedom, but the act of breaking through can feel painful at times. When things are difficult or you are feeling doubt, when you feel the need to do something that scares you and challenges you at the depths of your being. You are experiencing growing pains. They will pass and you will benefit from the growth. However, you need to know that whilst this difficulty is in your life, the divine is very much with you, encouraging you, believing in you so much that it will deliver a tough lesson. You can handle it for however long it needs to continue, and that won't be forever. This oracle also brings you a message about how much the divine feminine loves you and wants to help you grow with the least struggle and the most peace. If you don't listen to her, instead choosing to believe in fear, you may be terrified of your growing pains. You won't be sure if they will ever end. You may doubt your ability to turn adversity into triumph. You may lose faith instead of trusting that life has your best interests at heart and that you are capable of meeting any challenge that arises. Instead of trusting, you may believe the world isn't safe. This can keep you paralyzed in self-defeating, self-harming patterns. While these may give you a temporary familiar satisfaction, ultimately these patterns mean you'll continue to struggle and suffer under the weight of addiction or emotional pain. You deserve so much better than that. The divine feminine speaks to you now and promises that if you are willing to show up to your life each day and trust in the circumstances before you, she will guide you into your most beautiful divine destiny. It is safe to trust her. She wants for you only the best and most beautiful life journey, one perfectly suited for all that you are and all that you can be. Your heart beats in perfect rhythm with the heart of love at the center of the universe. Trust your heart and trust life. All is progressing beautifully as you are guided even deeper into your divine fulfillment. So if you chose card number 1, okay, the message here is basically going through a spiritual awakening and or a dark night of the soul. Before we can really spiritually awaken, we have to go through a dark night of the soul, quote unquote, right? So called. But that's exactly what it is. That's why people who know they're going through a spiritual awakening, or those of us who have gone through many, will tell you that it's not sitting on a mountaintop, you know, singing Kumbaya. It's really painful. It's more like being in a padded cell and bashing your head against the wall because you're in a straitjacket, you know. What the universe wants you to do this week in particular, if you chose this card, is to trust. Trust that the universe is making the right decisions for you. Trust that the universe has your back. Trust that you hardly even have to do anything except wake up and show up for life, expecting only the best. Wake up in the morning and affirm that you are going to have the absolute best day. You're going to make the most money. You're going to meet your quote unquote soulmate. Whatever you want out of life, you can have. However, if you continue to assert your own will, which you have been doing, and the reason you're doing this is because of fear, how can it possibly be the universe's plan for, you know, your great grandma to be on her deathbed? And I've just used that as a you know, a point. The universe knows why. You don't have to. So even these things that will make us horribly suffer and struggle in the long run are going to be the main thing that brings us to this trust in the universe. You know, there is a reason for all things that happen, okay? Especially when we allow the universe to allow them to happen. Because if the universe wants something to happen, it's going to happen one way or the other, whether we fight it or not. If we fight it, it's just going to take a lot longer and be a lot harder. And I feel like if you chose this card, you're really having trouble accepting that the universe is working not only for your good, but for the good of everyone around you as well. Okay? The universe knows why it's doing what it's doing. Please try your best to do some meditation on trusting, faith, acceptance, and letting go of control, even of your own destiny, okay? Of your own free will. Surrender it to your higher power. Surrender it to your higher self. Surrender it to the universe, okay? It's really important this week specifically that you wake up with a verbal positive affirmation as to how you're going to let go of fear of these really scary situations that are happening around you, whether it's someone possibly dying, someone physically hurt, the possibility of losing your job, your home, all of these terrible, terrible things that as human beings, we can't even imagine that crush us, right? Wake up and act as if you don't have a care in the world. Because honestly, if we were all connected to source the way we're supposed to be, we wouldn't have a care in the world, even about those giant things. Now, if you chose card number 2, the second card, you got card number 22, Initiation by Fire. What a fun card. Initiation by fire is a life-changing spiritual cleansing. Your life will never be the same again. Allow the power of divine fire to clear and purify you inside and out. This is not a time to hold on to anything, no matter how much you once believed you needed it. In letting go, you will gain so much more than you ever imagined, opening to fresh blessings and new life. You are, like the phoenix, ready to emerge from the holy flames, reborn. You have the spirit of the phoenix in you. You are able to rise again and again, even if at times all seems lost. You are guided to remember this, and as you are guided to remember this as you are now being spiritually cleansed through initiation by fire. During such times, you will feel that you are being asked to let go of relationships, situations, sometimes even jobs, attitudes, and belief systems that you have relied upon up until this point. You might have unintentionally placed more faith in that person, place, belief system, or identity than you placed in the divine. You might have held on to them rather than allowing the divine to guide you. This can happen easily on the earth plane. Sometimes these attachments become confining rather than supportive. In such cases, you will need to free yourself to continue your life journey. During the initiation by fire, all such attachments are burned away. A new life is a blessing, but that doesn't mean it is easily won. Sometimes the process can be challenging to the mind, even whilst the heart trusts in what is taking place. Whatever has been your stronghold in life, such as family, a marriage, job security, a talent, or something that you have used to define your sense of self, will be where the fire burns brightest. Those areas will be transformed. Letting go and allowing that to happen to the very parts of your life that you are most protective of can require deep faith. You have to remember that love is real. So you can hold on to your courage whilst you let go and allow the divine to have its way. Remember that the power of fire is destructive only in part. It also stimulates rapid new growth. Healing will arise in whatever area is being transformed. It is not only an ending, but also a beginning. This experience of initiation by fire is the divine making its presence felt in your life. It will be one of the most freeing and empowering experiences you'll have whilst in the physical body. It may ask you to confront fears and insecurities as you learn to trust the divine unconditionally. Know that the universe will always provide for you and always in the way that is best for you, even if you don't understand why it needs to happen the way it does at this time. Keep your eye on the inner transformations that are occurring rather than fearing the outer ones. The universe loves you and holds you in high regard. Remember this and trust. Initiation is an advanced spiritual lesson. You are being honored by what is happening in your life now. You are strong enough to get through it and thrive into new life like a radiant phoenix triumphantly emerging from sacred fire. This is like card number 1, only times 100, okay? The spiritual awakening, the journey, the spiritual path. And I'm not surprised because of this collective consciousness shift that I'm constantly talking about, right? If you chose card number 2 specifically for this week, you are going to have some major changes coming in. I mean, big time. Things that are going to seem absolutely unbelievable, incredible, and not necessarily in the best way, unless you can open up and see what's coming in the future. And really, unless you're psychic, you can't do that. And also, most of us are not psychic about ourselves, so nobody really can. It's going to be really hard, and the universe is begging you, especially for this week when you first receive the news of whatever this is, do not give up. Keep the faith. If you have to verbally out loud remind yourself that the universe is working everything out for the benefit of all involved, not just for you. So even in your life, things have to be worked out to your detriment for somebody else's benefit to benefit you later on, if that makes sense. Do not lose hope or give up faith. Do not fall back into addictions. Past patterns of destruction, I feel, is a very serious risk for you if you chose card number 2 this week. Try really hard. Get closer connected to your higher power. If you go to meetings, if you go to church, whatever it is that you do to keep yourself grounded and away from old bad habits, please consider doing that this week, because you do have some kind of bad news coming in. But at the end of the day, in the long run, it's going to have affected your life in the most beautiful and poignant ways. Things that you can't even imagine right now are going to come from this quote unquote bad news this week. If you chose card number 3, you got the 44th card, 7th ray of ritual, order, and ceremony. When the gift of the seventh ray enters your life, something new is being formed, something that will benefit your world. There may be an increased interest in magic, ceremony, and ritual for healing purposes. Resonating with high-frequency violet light in the Archangel Zadkiel, the seventh ray also helps transmute energy from lower to higher frequency. It is a spiritual cleansing agent that allows the truth of spiritual freedom, empowerment, and choice to be seen and felt, restoring hope and joy to the heart. The seventh ray is very active upon the earth at this time. All of humanity is being affected by it. The seventh ray is the push-pull between the old and the new, the life that has been and can no longer continue in that form, and the new life that wants to evolve from the old. It honors traditions and ancestral wisdom that serve new life. When the seventh ray enters your life, you are asked to balance your attachment to what has been with an openness to the new. It is a time to fearlessly question what has been, honor what continues to hold value for you, and dismiss what no longer serves you. The seventh ray also creates from the invisible and tangible spiritual energy. These are the inspired solutions and synchronicities that seem to come out of nowhere. They are signs of the divine order happening. The seventh ray brings in alignment with that divine order, and the more you are willing to invoke and allow that energy to bless you, the more your life will align itself with the genius of creativity, solutions, and loving opportunities the universe wants to bring to your world. The gifts of ritual, order, and ceremony are ways to attract this energy. Conscious ceremony done in service to unconditional divine love feeds a need for sacred embodiment. It is a hunger within the soul that many seek to feed through religion and others through the less conscious rituals of addiction. Ritual can be something that keeps you stuck or opens you to the sacred. The challenge with the seventh ray is not to become obsessed with the future, with the new, to the extent that you forget about the valuable aspect of what already is. It is about developing what has value, not rejecting outright anything from the past. The past can teach us wisdom and help us create a more loving future if we allow ourselves to balance our passion for the future with a respect for what has been. The gift of the seventh ray is the ability to live as an embodied divine presence. For humans who don't trust or even recognize the love of the divine in their hearts as yet, those who do are great supporters. The seventh ray empowers us to use loving ritual to invite divine presence to fill us and our lives. It also teaches us how to use our consciousness to clean up our own energy field and the energy field of the world around us so the divine can show its face more clearly. The comfort of this can help free all beings from anguish and suffering. Okay, so all my light workers out there, well, not all my light workers, because if you chose one or two, you're probably a light worker as well. But if you chose card number 3 specifically, you are about to be activated, okay? It's a time of having more interest in quote-unquote magic, maybe the earth, healing, cleansing, aura, psychic, these videos in general, right? What I'm doing over on MoonBear, crystal energy, magic, herbs, candles, it doesn't matter. All of that stuff is suddenly going to become more interesting to you, okay? You're going to be having prophetic dreams. You're going to have dreams remembering where you used to be. A lot of us are very much higher vibrational and therefore struggle the most while here on earth in these human bodies. What the universe is asking you to do this week is reach out to people you see struggling, give them your divine light, okay? Literally imagine yourself radiating it onto them, okay? You're being asked to take a leadership position this week, okay? People are looking up to you for advice. Please be careful not to judge anyone. Do not flat out neglect to help anyone. There is a reason the specific people that are coming to you are, all right? Never think you're better than anyone. Don't forget where you came from is a big one for this week. Things are changing so drastically and rapidly for the better. You're going to start seeing synchronicities, signs, quote unquote coincidences that you just can't believe. If you can go with the flow and accept that life is finally happening, that you are being activated as a light worker, okay, a helper to the divine, a conduit to the divine, an oracle, if you will, you are going to have so much success in raising the frequencies of those around you and yourself as well, okay? You are being asked to help others this week more so than ever and to have gratitude for being able to do it. Communicate verbally with spirit, the universe. Go outside at night and talk to your star ancestors. Ask them to visit you in dreams that you can remember, okay? There are codes that were put inside of you when you incarnated as a human being on earth that are about to be activated this week, by the end of this month, or the end of May rather. It's coming, okay? And if you're not spiritually, emotionally, mentally prepared, it could end up throwing you back into past negative patterns, all right? If you could not choose between card 1, 2, and 3, I will draw one more card. Let's see what that is. Or if none of them resonated with you, I suppose. All right. Number 13. Trust in the plan. And I feel like this is kind of what all the cards were about, right? This deck definitely has a theme, but each card is significantly different. So the fourth card, card number 13, trust in the plan. In preparation for radical growth, there can be temporary disorder and chaos. Whilst the mind may worry that something is going wrong, the spirit knows that this is a way for the old to disassemble so the new can be formed. Although you may feel out of control during such times, you do not need to resist the process. There is no need to attempt to impose your own sense of order upon the greater plan. You do not need to seek solutions, for there is no problem here in need of solving. What has been is being cleared away in preparation for the next chapter in your life. Have faith, all is well. Do not fear. You may see the life you have known appears to be ending. You may find that the things you used to do or the way you used to think no longer seems as relevant as it once was. You may feel your relationships and friendships are changing. Some may even be ending. Perhaps you find you no longer have the energy or motivation to keep certain relationships going in your life. However, your energy is meant to be withdrawn from what it once supported. This is not an abandonment or betrayal, and it is not selfish. It is honest. When you trust in your spiritual growth, all that happens is love. That means that even in a apparent loss always serves love, whether that is immediately obvious or not. It is something necessary for both parties to become free to live their true destiny. Life is a loving, creative journey for your soul. You are divinely scheduled to evolve at this point in your life. Can you sense an exciting growth phase happening for you? There is another way for you to live, to be, to thrive and love in this world, and you are rapidly heading towards it. This is a time to surrender control and allow a higher power to direct your course. Many exciting new opportunities, situations, and connections will come into your life as a result of what you are experiencing now. It is all part of a greater divine intelligence unfolding in loving service to your own sacred life path. Have faith and stay true to your spiritual principles. Trust in an unfolding higher plan. Know that all changes in your life serve your higher good. The universe knows what you need and is in the process of delivering it to you now. All that is happening for a greater purpose. You can flow with the changes in loving trust. Your perfect time for resurrection will follow this deconstruction, and it will occur in the perfect way. There is something huge coming to an end. For those of you who ended up with the fourth card, okay? Losing a job, a marriage breaking up, somebody that you love passing away, the end of a friendship. It can go on and on and on. Something very sacred and important to you that you thought was a part of your life turns out to only be temporary. And I feel like you felt this coming for a while, but this week it's like something that's right in your face that you have to accept. And going along with the theme of all of the other three cards, what this card is telling you is to just sit back and accept it in faith, as if you have faith in God, if you do, or whatever your higher power is. All right. Stop trying to change and control everything, because if you do that, the only thing you're going to do is show the universe that you need to be taught a lesson, that you haven't learned everything that you were supposed to have learned up to this point. And then things are going to get a lot harder. If somebody walks away from you this week, let them. Okay, if something comes to an end, let it. That doesn't mean you can't be hurt, sad, upset, angry, okay, bitter. But try to turn those emotions into something positive. Work on guided meditations to cleanse your aura, to connect with spirit, okay? There is something huge in your life that you really, depended upon, and that might have even been a part of your identity coming to an end. For most of you this week, again, this is general, but if you chose this card, it is coming eventually. Please have faith and don't fall back into, old patterns of behavior, or you're just going to regress yourself. Guys, that's all I have for you. If you would like a personal intuitive oracle reading, please email me at MoonBearOracle@gmail.com, your name and your birth date. Like I said in the beginning, for April and May, I'm doing them for donation only. Other ways to donate you'll find in the description box: Cash App, PayPal, Patreon. If you have any encounters with the supernatural, paranormal, extraterrestrial, otherworldly that you would like for me to make a part of my listener encounter series, please email those stories to me at GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com. I will see you on Saturday and Sunday nights from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Spaced Out Radio. That's Eastern Time with Big Willie Townsend, the Fedorable John Hudson, where we talk about all things woo. It's a really great time. It's fun, guys. Wednesday nights right here on Gemma Jade channel from 7 p.m. to approximately 11 p.m. Eastern Time. I do a 1 card just like this intuitive oracle pull for anyone and everyone who comes in. First come, first serve. And I'll be having guests on probably Ghost Dragons, or my son Damien is going to be my partner or partners through that little endeavor. So many more endeavors, adventures coming for me. You're just going to have to stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to Oracle, please go on over and do that. Again, a slow going process, but I'm doing my best. I've been sick. I have another week off content. I'm doing little things, you know, Budget Home and Beauty and the weekly 3 card and the live streams, but just as far as like scripted content, I needed a little bit of time off. So I decided to take it. I love you guys. Be kind to each other. It doesn't cost anything. Be kind to yourselves and never accept anything less than others being kind to you. Always go in grace, smile at a stranger, and I'll see you next time.